Hey, what's up, guys? Happy New Year 2021. Yay. Hope you guys have been doing great. Oh, 2020 was such a bad year. It's just. Uh, anyway, hopefully 2021 will be a lot better. I've got new and exciting content for you guys coming up in the future. Just in case you guys haven't got caught up in my last video before New Year was over, I'm gonna start doing Mario Maker levels. So I'll leave my Twitter information and everything down below. Just real quick, I'm looking to expand out a little bit. But anyway, on to today's video. Because I promised to do this a while back, but plain out forgot, I'm going to do a Luster skill tree overview and weapons and armor whole deal, since I was supposed to do it but forgot. So in case you haven't known, Luster just uses pure Gunslash, and that's it. But they use it in a variety of different ways, which I'll get into. Now the skill tree for Luster may seem overwhelming, because it kinda is, but it's a fun class. So with Luster, it's recommended always carry 3 weapons, and I will get into that more. And you're just going to have different elements depending on the stance you take. A lot of people, when I made my last Luster video, was just a little confused about the weapons to take and such like that, but I'll go over that more in depth into this video, and I've already done gameplays in the past, so if you want to see that, I will link it down below, or I'll put a card somewhere. So automatically you start with Luster gear, and this is just a long press to consume gear to do various actions. Now I will do another video on Luster because they have so much skills just by normal attacks and using your weapon actions and stuff like that. It's pretty ridiculous. And of course you get your standard top skills that you can get for free that is using points. And Luster will, you can survive a fatal damage and become invincible. But this will actually reset on reaching high voltage. So real quick, at the bottom of my screen right here, let me go pause the game real quick. Oh, okay, I guess not. Bottom of the screen, I'm using a controller, so I'm not able to do. You'll see it says voltage right underneath my dark blast and stuff like that. As you're attacking, your voltage meter will go up, and once you hit certain voltages, you get shift in D-band, and the Luster will replace itself. So once you get high voltage, those numbers will turn red. That means you're in high voltage, and the more you attack and not let up, your voltage will just go up. And underneath the voltage name right there will be a bar that fills up. And if you don't attack, that bar will go down. And once that bar is empty, with the allocated skill, your HP gets restored and your PP gets restored. So again, I'll go into that. So it's good if you're fighting like bosses, a bunch of enemies and stuff. Do what you can to keep your voltage meter. I mean, there's nothing negative happens if it drops to 0. You just got to start back up to getting it back up. Every 100 you get shift in D-band and stuff like that. So anyway, go back into the skill tree. So again, Luster will, when you get high voltage, it resets, and then high level bonus. Every class will have this. So Luster time, when you activate that, you get various bonuses, effect duration, you get PP recovery, double PP recovery, and then you get damage reduction. And when you press it again, you can do a powerful attack. Now you do get 3 different attacks depending on what stance you take. So keep that in mind. And then with the Gunslash equip, you boost damage when it's a main class. So pretty much when you're maining Luster, you get all these bonuses to damage and stuff like that. Now, if you're using another class and using Gunslash, which will be weird, but if you're people that do that, this may be a viable sub, but just damage alone will be probably better anyway. And then of course, Gunslash equipped, it ignores weapon resist to certain enemies, which is really cool. So if a certain enemy has a resistance to an element, you may ignore that and stuff like that. And then you got your ability plus, which changes the highest stat if you're striking and ranged special abilities on the weapon. So pretty much if you have striking or ranged on your weapons and abilities, it converts over. So when it's equipped and you're using a Gunslash, that highest stat will be your most dominant. So if range is your most dominant, it's range. If striking is the most dominant, it'll be striking on your abilities. So keep that in mind. Luster mag, you can use any stat. You can use striking, you can use range, you can use technique, because this seems to be a sort of hot topic for every class. What mag do I use? You're using the wrong mag, and blah blah blah. So hopefully there'll be just no confusion about that. So any attack mag, striking, range, tech will work just fine. Me personally, I already have striking, so there we go. Next would be Luster Voltage, which will boost your voltage based on your number of hits. So this is what I was talking about. The higher your voltage, the more of the stats you get. So as you can see, you have bonuses to damage and damage reduction. So your max bonus for damage infliction is 10%, reduction 4%, reduction limit is 20%, and your conversion rate is 2%. So that's why it pays to have high voltage, which sounds pretty weird. Next skill with just attacking with different user PAs. It boosts your voltage and critical hit. So Luster is all about those critical hits. So it's a good class to have. Killing Restored recovers HP and PP when an enemy dies. I believe Ranger has this ability, and some other stuff will have that. And then D-Band Disorder, or under effective D-Band, it boosts your chance to inflict a status effect. So if you have a weapon with the abilities and stuff that can inflict status elements, that'll be pretty good. So I don't know, use that to your will. And then your voltage bonus, every time you reach a certain value, you get shift and D-Band. So when you reach voltage 100, you get shift and D-Band. And voltage reset heal. So when your voltage runs out, your HP and PP will recover based on your value. So if you have over 1,000 voltage, pretty much you're going to get fully healed with HP and PP. So make sure you're doing enough damage, keeping your voltage up, and when there's a lull in battle and you're low in health, don't pop a mono main or anything. Just let your voltage run out. Heal yourself. Pretty cool. And then Tech Arts PP say high. Using different PAs and text 3 times in a combo reduces your PP usage. If 4 times used in combo, PP is reduced by a certain percentage. So these are great skills. A lot of their skills just revolved around saving PP and stuff like that. So it was really good. Amplify Assist boosts time shift and D-Band that you receive. So this is actually really cool when you're applying your own D-Band. Is when you get to voltage 100, your D-Band applied to yourself, I believe, will get like 20 or 30 seconds. And if you just keep spamming attacks, you're just going to keep giving yourself shift and D-Band. Or if a Techer gives you shift and D-Band, and then get your voltage up, you'll keep applying their shift and D-Band, just extending the effects of that. So that's a really good thing to keep a note of, because a lot of people like Hero and Phantom, when you get a Techer shift and D-Band and you shift and D-Band yourself, you're actually increasing the duration of their shift and D-Band, not override it with yours, since yours is going to be weaker, of course. So shift the gauge boost, under effective shifter, you boost your gear rate and photon blast gain rates, which is a nice neat skill. And then right here, high voltage, which is a pretty long explanation. When your voltage is above a certain value, boost your critical hit rate, PP recovery, removes and gives immunity to status effect, which is really cool, and reduces the cooldown of all your active skills. So this is a must, like being able to cure your status effects, because you will get status effects. You just got to get your count to 500 voltage. That's the only thing, which should be no problem if you're hitting multiple enemies. And then voltage heat up upon successful attacking with a powerful enemy. You gain a bonus to voltage accumulation. So mini bosses, big bosses, super bosses, stuff like that. And of course, damage bonuses, even with pets. Main damage bonus with Luster, stuff like that. And then now to the nitty gritty. We're getting to the Gunslash one. So non-element removes all bonus damage given to attribute value, but boosts the weapon's range attack by a certain percent. So pretty much it removes all the bonus damage from that attribute, fire, light, whatever, and then it'll boost your range attack. So you could put that as your skill and use it if you want. It just makes your weapon non-element, but you'll get a nice little damage boost. So keep that in mind. Now to the styles. So you have 3 styles. You have the Zandy style, which is lightning and wind, the Fomel style, which is fire and dark, and the Baran style, which is ice and light. If you're familiar with Force, you all should know that Force's skills revolve around these elements. So pretty much goes to say, yeah, they're going to do the same thing for this class. So the grants the Zandy style with a Gunslash with wind or lightning element is equipped. It excels at high speed area combat. So pretty much, I would say more like crowd control and stuff like that. So if you have a large amount of enemy, throw on that wind or lightning weapon and go to town. And Fomel style is fire and dark, like of course I've said, and this one excels at close range combat. So I would say for this style, use this for like bosses or enemies that you just need to kill really quickly. This is actually good for the episode 6 enemies, since they're all usually just weak to dark anyway. and you just go just wreck house with that type of weapon. So consider using dark. I use fire, but you can just easily switch to dark. That's definitely no problem. And the Baran style, of course, either ice or light, and this is a defensive one with counterattack, and it also uses range styles. So if you need to be really defensive, you can actually put like static effects on enemies with this style, and just keep out of the way, keep very defensive, and you'll be great. Oh, I forgot the skill right here, complete reset. So boost your PB natural recover while standing still, and your weapon's been sheathed for 1 second. I just saw that at the corner of my eye. So with each style, you get certain shoot and enhances. They're all the same. So consume gear to charge up an attack that hits all enemies in range. Foamel is just a launch a barrage that takes enemies in the same line. And then Baran is you can charge up photon bullets and shoot a really large one. And of course, the attack at hand is the same between all the classes, except for the wind. If you hold down your attack, you actually throw out a tornado, which will suck enemies in and keep them in while you damage them. This one shoots photon spears, after using a PA. So when you use a PA, you'll see these red little spears shoot out. If you've seen previous videos of me playing a Luster, you will see that. And then for Brand, this one actually creates like an area on the ground that will actually attack enemies and paralyze them, which is nifty. And then move arts boost. You'll boost voltage for hitting enemies with move arts. I'll explain all this later. It's just a lot, especially with their stances. So training is going to be your best friend. And then for a Zandy style, when you dodge using step weapon action and you attack a certain PA, generate a follow-up attack. So there's pretty much dodge, doing attack, and do an extra attack. So it's a lot to Luster. Trust me, it's a lot to it, but you'll get the hang of it. There's just too much to the class, which makes it fun. So Foamel style, voltage gain for hitting enemies and enhance arts, and then their advance is just attacking PA as early as possible makes the photon clusters orbit you for a period of time. So those big giant orbits you have, they'll actually follow you and attack with you when you use certain PAs. So that's pretty cool, especially when you do just attacks, and then you'll see a lot of them come out. So this is why you want to do Foamel style when fighting those big bosses. And for Brand style, you boost your voltage to hit enemies and stay arts. I'll explain all this in another video because again, there's just a lot of it. And Just Guard Advance, so successfully Just Guarding attack grants a damage reduction barrier, which is nifty because the reduction is 25% and it lasts for 20 seconds. So if you need to be defensive on the move, that's it for you right there. And then we have a lot more skills. Like I said, there's a lot of skills in Luster. So stay arts. So when you use a PA without holding direction, you do stay arts. So stand still, use a PA. There you go. Slash rise, jump after using an attack to activate a special attack. So when you jump after using a regular attack, you can either initiate a small little Zanverse on the ground, or you could do a Magiverse when you're in the air. So pretty weird, but they don't last that very long anyway. And Luster Step Slide, you pretty much see me doing this all the time. You just double tap your dodge button. For me, it's left trigger, and you'll move fast, consume some PP, and you shoot at the same time. So pretty neat. Oops, sorry. Luster counter, step attacks become stronger after a dodge using step. Nifty attack. This one adds an extra attack to your X button, since I'm on an Xbox One controller. If you press X 3 times, but you press it a 4th time, you get another attack. And quick slash, no more attack at the correct time and approach the enemy at high speed. So pretty much attack the enemy, get close to him quickly. And we got more skills. So enhanced combo. It's funny how these are learned at 70 and then your last one's learned at 95. Just a quick note, you can learn both of these. These don't require points. You just hit level 95 and then you learn these skills. Just quick note right there. So enhanced combo is Gunslash will consume gear to activate another enhanced art when using a PA in advance during enhanced arts. So I know it sounds like a lot. Probably half of these skills you probably won't use because it'll either be too busy or you're fighting too many enemies, but there'll be times where you take all these skills in advance. Slash fall, again, this is the same thing, but when you're it says jump after using attack. So the slash rise on the ground, slash fall, jump. Do the same thing. Step slide advance, you can actually slide away or towards the enemy when you're locked on for special attacks and stuff. So for me, double tap the L trigger and then attack, and then you can do a special attack. And you can actually go backwards while you're doing that. So sounds weird, but it actually will help you get away from enemies depending on what style you're using. And then step guard is step forwards or backwards to a locked on enemy's target to perform a special counter attack. So when you're locked on and the target's attacking you, you can actually perform a counter attack while they're hitting you. So you activate this skill without realizing it, and you're wondering how you're blocking some attacks. So it's a little weird, but it's a nice skill. So these two level 95, Purge Style and Quick Shoot, they're a little weird, but the Purge Style will, if you hit your action weapon twice, for me it's right bumper, it'll actually discard your style for a powerful explosion. So if you use like a Full Metal Style and you double tap it, you'll lose your style. I mean, you lose your gear bar at the bottom. It'll go away for a while, and you'll just be using a non-element Gunslash with barely any skills for a short amount of time. So 10 seconds. And Quick Shoot, weapon actually changes when used at specific times. Timing is based on style chosen. So depending on which style you pick is which it would choose to. So again, I will show that in maybe a video in a few days because there's a lot of skills. And of course, HP, PP, attack, and defense. Pretty much what almost every class has. So that was quite a lot. I admit Luster has a lot of skills and stuff like that because the class is pretty complex in a way. But let me show you the weapons I'm using. So pretty much, oh yeah, I did an urgent quest, that's why all this crap's in my inventory. Pretty much what I have is I have a wind, I have a fire, and then I have a light weapon. So you could pretty much use, I don't know, any element you choose for whatever weapon you want to use it. You can bring 6 weapons if you want. I'm not recommending it. I just bring 3 for the the times I need it, but 6 is doable if you want. I'm not saying do it. Hey, if you want to, go for it. And for my units, just attack units and stuff like that. And for my mag, it's just a striking mag because that works just fine with Luster. So yeah, either way, that's Luster skills in a nutshell. Just remember guys, I'm going to make a follow-up video just showcasing a lot of the skills. This is going to be a very long one. So until next time guys, have a great new year. Peace.